What is up, YouTube gaming community? Welcome back to another episode of the Last Minute Podcast. I am your host, Heavy Metal Zombie of Last Minute Productions. With us again today are our esteemed cohorts, Clyde, the incomparable, L.M Stranger. What's going on, dude?
I'm doing fine, just sitting here hanging out. Hopefully we get a good podcast out of the way.
I'm sure we will. Glad to have you yet again. And we also have tonight Rodney, the Tech Tower Chevy Boy Swag. What's going on?
What's up?
What you been up to?
Nothing, just blowing shit up, Making fun of the lower iPhone customers,
Speaking of which, segue, stay tuned for the next episode where Rodney will have a Apple versus Android, let's just say forum hosted by himself. Stay tuned to that. It's quite the piece of art. So let's get this episode started for the night. Guys, what have we been doing recently? What have we been playing?
Oh, man, I've been playing a lot of games. I've been playing a lot of Euro Truck Simulator 2. I've been playing a lot of Grid Auto Sport. I've been playing a lot of Age of Empires. And I know this is made by Microsoft, State of Decay.
Is that any good?
It's buggy as hell, but it's good. Also, GT Online. And I've been watching, just recently actually, Sinister. Now that is a scary, good movie, and I recommend it.
I need to check that out then. I haven't heard any reviews, actually. Yours is the first one.
And that's pretty much it.
Rodney, what have you been playing, dude?
Well, it's no surprise. Some Grand Theft Auto, of course, online. When I can actually get online, as buggy and glitchy as it still is. I've actually been going back and playing the God of War collections, too.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I've been playing that a lot. That's the main two I've been playing. I went back and played a little bit of The Last of Us again, since I still have a copy of it.
Right.
And that's mainly all I've been playing. I've been watching a lot of anime lately.
Hell yeah.
Well, of this one particular anime show. I've been watching a lot of Attack on Titan lately.
It's really good. We recommend that to anybody who hasn't given it a try yet. Check it out.
Yes, I've finished the entire first season already, and it's pretty awesome. Pretty good.
It's funny you mentioned Last of Us, though, because I just recently started playing Last of Us again also on PS3 in anticipation of the remastered collection coming out. And I picked up, what do they call it, Left Behind, the DLC campaign. It's fucking phenomenal, dude. First time I played through it. I've been really enjoying it. I've also been playing Mass Effect 3's online horde mode. Can't remember what they call it right now, but it's really cool too. Have either of you guys played it?
The only Left Behind I've played. Great ending. Not going to say much about it, but yeah, it has a very sexual kind of ending.
Yep.
And
I'm going to leave it at that. And Mass Effect, I played it on the 360, so I really haven't played it recently because I got rid of my 360 when the exclusives dried up.
Yep. As did everybody.
Hey, I still got mine, even though I don't play it. It's just
man. Man, I got it for that one game, Gears of War, also. But, hey, it's whatever. Other than Last of Us, though, I've been playing... I got Diablo Ultimate Evil Edition on PS3, which is, of course, the original Diablo 3 and the Reaper of Souls DLC on one disc. I need to put some more time into it, but so far I'm honestly not nearly as impressed as I wanted to be. It feels too archaic, in my opinion, too ancient almost. But I plan on playing some more, getting some more legs out of it before I make my final decision. And I've been also playing Star Ocean, Last Hope International Edition. One of my favorite RPGs this generation. It's really good. I recommend that to everybody. And Grand Theft Auto Online goes without saying. You guys know that better than anybody. So I've been playing my fair share of games recently, too. Also, Supernatural Season 9 came out Tuesday. Fucking pumped to catch up. Captain America came out. Godzilla's coming out this week. It's going to be a great week, dude. A great month for movies and TV shows. Arrow Season 2 also. Everyone, that should be required watching.
Sounds cool.
Oh.
You know, I mean, there's a few movies I'm interested in as well. The new Purge movie's coming out on Blu-ray next month, which I'll probably end up picking up.
Yep.
And the new Wrong Turn movie, which I love Wrong Turn. Mostly because I'm from West Virginia, and it's like that. So if you come down here, I'll eat you. Remember that? I'll eat you.
Ladies.
Yeah, only the ladies. You can come here, I'll eat you all night long.
Okay.
But you have to be hot, though.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Ugly
And with
ones
that,
need love, too.
With that, let's get into the show tonight. It's going to be a good one. All right. First topic of the night, gentlemen. Recently, as of earlier this week, actually, Nintendo officially announced 3 limited edition new 3DSs that they will be releasing, 2 of which only at GameStop. These systems include an NES-themed 3DS, a Persona Q edition 3DS, and a Smash Brothers, that's the new Smash Brothers, themed 3DS. The NES and Persona versions are exclusive to GameStop, but the Smash Brothers you can get at any major retailer. What are your thoughts on these, and will you be picking one up?
Okay, first off, no. You know, I am not much into handhelds. My thoughts on handhelds is a tablet, that's the future, and handhelds market is going to die. That's my opinion. You guys may disagree with that opinion, but that's my opinion to have. I really want to talk about these GameStop exclusivities of, what did you say, the NES and the Persona ones?
Right.
That's just dumb, okay? It limits the market, for one. You know, what if you want an NES or Persona and there's no GameStop in your area, or you just don't like GameStop for one reason or another? You're pretty much SOL, which is wrong in my opinion. All right, and Nintendo has to focus on other things other than making basically the same thing but with different colors and stuff.
Right.
You know, I mean, Nintendo is in trouble, and I know people's going to buy it. You know, the Nintendo faithful, I call them Nintendorks.
Damn.
Will buy anything Nintendo. Okay, I know this, but a lot of people has left Nintendo, and they got to focus on other things. You know, and that also brings another topic, is that new 3DS they're doing, that new 3DS.
Yeah.
For one, that's a stupid name. Okay. You go to GameStop and say, hey, I want a used new 3DS. Or I want a new 3DS. Okay, stupid name. And also, didn't the 3DS not come out too long ago? The one that's out now?
Yeah, the fucking crazy thing is, the 2DS was the most recent release. Jesus Christ. That wasn't even a year ago.
You know, so I think they're overdoing it on these new designs, and you know, and the fact that you won't even be able to play games. You know, some of the games on the older one is pissing people off. It's just a whole shit fest, and that's all I really got to say about Nintendo and their handhelds.
That's right. Duly noted. We should point out though that these 3 new launch ones will be the I can't really, in good faith, say original 3DS design, but they're not going to have the second dual stick like the new 3DS they announced will have. But being that as it may, Rodney, what's your opinion on these new systems launching?
What can I say? Because I'm one of the ones that left Nintendo a while back, too. And not because they make crappy products. That actually, believe it or not, was not the reason why I left them. I left Nintendo because I kind of grew up. You know? I grew up. I got tired of super kiddie games all the time. You know? And then...
You saying that?
And then, on top of that, what I think about them is this. I think, like Clyde said, eventually handheld games are going to die. Eventually. Let's just be honest. With tablets and everything on the rise, I think it's just a matter of time before handhelds just go the way. You know, that's just all there is to it. Now, unless Nintendo's going to, like, pull a tablet out their ass somewhere that's just amazing, goodbye, Nintendo. Because we know the Wii U ain't helping them. I'm just saying.
Right.
And also, do these handhelds come with any games prepackaged in them? You know,
they do not. They are only themed as their game or system inspiration let on.
So I mean, what's my real incentive to go out here and buy this handheld console, especially if I already have a DS? Because most of the people that wanted a DS already have one to start with. So, I mean, what's my real, incentive? Especially if I got to drive over almost an hour to get to a GameStop just to be able to buy one. You know, when there's like a Best Buy or a Walmart right down the street.
Yeah, that's a solid point. Nintendo and some of their fans could make the argument that these are limited edition and they will be very valuable. And they are limited edition, and you could get them. You can't. They are regularly priced as a normal edition 3DS is anyway. So
I'll give them that, but at the end of the day, you'll be able to buy these things online eventually. Somebody will have a used one or something if you just really want one.
That's true. No one here will argue that.
I just feel like if it's going to be a collectible or something, make it, special for me. Don't just slap on a custom theme on it and then be like, here you go, this is yours, you should buy it. Make it special,
Now, see, I'll play devil's advocate on this topic in regards to the new systems launching because it's well documented that I've had a Vita this generation of handhelds, and I love my Vita to death. But the built-in problem with that automatically is I'm the only person that I know that has a Vita. So there's no incentive for me to play with my friends because my friends don't have one. Now, I've been looking to get a 3DS anyway because apparently it has a rich library of games on it. And I'm thinking about getting one of these. Maybe the NES or the Persona one. I know if I get one, and if it's one of these limited edition ones, it's going to be one of the two. I don't care about the Smash Brothers one. I'm not particularly fond of its design. Right now, I'm looking more towards the Persona edition because the NES one, besides the box, which is themed like an old school NES system is, which is really cool. I don't know if you guys have seen the picture of the system itself, but it's just a print of an NES controller on the top lid of the NES. The DS, I'm sorry. And that's about it. So there's nothing special. Like with the Game Boy Advance SP, I still have the NES themed version of it, and they did a fantastic job of stylizing that. They didn't quite follow through with the same, effort with this launch. But, I haven't had a 3DS yet. This seems like the perfect opportunity for me to get one if I don't decide to hold off and get the one with the two analog sticks, which I'll probably do because, like I said, I have a Vita, and you got to have two of those things, man. If you had a PSP, you knew all too well.
Yep, and I had one of those. Oh, and one more thing, though, I wanted to say, though, about that. about one comment I made. Handheld gaming will disappear, but only if you can get those console quality games on a tablet. Because that's the reason why I don't play games on my phone or my tablet, is because, I'm sorry, but Clash of the Clans is only fun for so long before I get tired of it.
Yep. And this is a topic for all of its own, but yeah, you're right. And to me, I don't game on a fucking I game on handhelds as we know them, as in the big ones like Sony and Nintendo's handhelds at home anyway. I don't game on my phone or tablet. I don't see myself ever doing that, because you're not going to have the big licenses you do on the big tier ones. You're not going to have, at least for the foreseeable future, you're not going to have a Mario or a Final Fantasy, a real Final Fantasy, or a God of War, or a Zelda, or a Metroid Prime, or an Uncharted on a phone or tablet. It's just not going to happen. So for that,
and if it does, the controls will be horrible.
Yes, they will.
Right
and
now.
At that point, I'll just export it to my fucking big screen anyway. So I'm going to stick with my dedicated handhelds, just like I will for everything else. But needless to say, if you out there are looking for a new NES or are a collector of limited edition consoles, you may want to snag these up. These are launching starting September throughout the fall. Okay, so up next, oh my gosh, this past week, Xbox One finally launched in the Japanese market, and to a whopping 23,562 sales in a 4-day period. So throughout the work week, not even 24,000 of these. Let's go through that number again. Just like you can get the WWE Network for $9.99. Let's check these numbers. 23,562 Xbox Ones sold within the first week of launch in Japan. What do we think about this? I know all of us have some words on this topic.
Okay. First off, this surprises nobody. I mean, did anybody honestly think the Xbox One was going to sell well in Japan? Honestly?
No one with a brain.
And that's why Xbox thought it would, but that's a cheap shot, I know. You guys will get over it, Xbox. But yeah, I mean, 23,000. I mean, that is pathetic, okay? It sold half of what the 360 sold. And the original Xbox sold twice as much as the Xbox 360 is doing.
You're right, and I'm sorry, and I don't mean to cut you off. I'm going to let you finish and everything, Clyde. But I do have the sales numbers for previous systems right now that we can, compare to. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Sorry, yep. Xbox out there, but let's look at cold hard facts and numbers. Okay. Let's go with the original Xbox for one, okay? That's the first topic here for reference. The original Microsoft Xbox sold in Japan on February 22nd, 2002. 3-day period sold 123,929 systems, which in 2002, an American company launching in a Japanese market was nowhere near its PlayStation counterpart for a record, which was 630,000, but all things considered wasn't bad, okay? Now, the Xbox 360 launched in Japan December 10th, 2005. Anyone want to take a guess at how many units it sold?
60-some thousand.
Rodney?
I don't even want to try to guess, because I'm not even sure.
Ding, 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 ding. Clyde, 62,135 systems in 2 days. Now, Microsoft. You're an American company with no basis at all in Japan, and you don't try to cater to that market whatsoever. You did a even less job of doing that with the Xbox 360. That in itself was 10 years ago. You have not improved your relations with that territory since. So why in the blue hell would you expect anything better this generation? It doesn't make sense to me, doesn't make sense to your market, doesn't make sense to that country. You literally half the sales with each generation. Clyde, back to you.
All right. Okay, well, what I was saying is that, the sales was shitty. I mean, as Corey pointed out, the sales has halved every time you've been in a market. Why? You can't blame Japan, okay? American products sell, okay? Apple products, Japanese love Apple products.
Yes, they do.
They do. I mean, they pretty much outsell Japanese phone companies. So for one, okay, Japanese people will sell or buy American products, but they have to cater to them. Apple caters to them, okay? You have to get some exclusive games that Japanese consumers will play, okay? You don't do that. I mean, your most sold game was Titanfall, all right? And that's a Western game, okay? Japanese people don't want to play Titanfall.
Nobody wants to play Titanfall.
I mean, we don't want to play Titanfall. So what do you think they want to play Titanfall? They don't. All right? Okay, you guys hardly did any advertising. All right? It's just you've done everything wrong. It's like you wrote off Japan. And the Japanese consumers knows this. And you pretty much said, fuck them, so they're going to say, fuck you. All right? And it's not like consoles are selling well in Japan anyways. I mean, the PS4 is not selling well as well. We're not going to whitewash and say PS4s are jumping off the shelves. I mean, they like handhelds more now, and the 3DS is selling like hotcakes down there.
That's true. But for the record, since you brought that up, both of you want to take a guess at how many units the PlayStation 4 sold on its launch?
I don't have to guess. I know it's 300 and some thousand.
Damn. Rodney, what would you say? Even though he practically got it, I'm going to give you the number after this.
I was actually going to say, I was only going to say about 200,000.
Well, the accurate number, Clyde, again, is 322,083 units in 2 days. So let's backpedal one. 2 days less, they sold, for all intents and purposes, 300,000 more units. 300,000.
13 times more, which is pathetic.
You're absolutely right. Jesus Christ. And you're right, Clyde. Japan has more or less embraced the mobile aspect of things nowadays. Not necessarily just smartphones, but they're big into their, 3DSs, their Vita. The PSP is still huge in that territory. That kind of stuff. That's what they're embracing now.
Which, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, different regions will embrace different things. I mean, we still love consoles. We want the console experience.
Yes.
Japanese people, they're more busy. So they want stuff on the go more.
Yes.
We, hate to say it, we are lazy motherfuckers, and we don't want to work all day. We want to go home and play our games.
Yes. Or in the case of you, 5 million shipped to retail Xbox, you want to snap to Golden Girls and, watch TV while you're, quick scoping fuckers on COD.
But yeah, I mean, there's really not much else to say about that other than it's pathetic. I feel sorry for the Xbox One. I mean, there was no lines. I mean, there was lines half the block for the PS4. And Xbox One people were like going, what the hell? I mean, nobody was there. I mean, if I was an Xbox, if I was Microsoft Japan, I'd be hanging myself. That's all I got to say about that. It's just pathetic. Shame on you, Microsoft.
Rodney, what's your thoughts on the staggering 23,562 units sold of Xbox Ones in Japan.
I don't even know what to say. I don't. Like he was saying, how can you go over there and expect your console to sell and you already wrote that area off as they ain't gonna buy it. So you didn't put any real time into it. That would be like Apple going over there. That'd be like Apple in America saying, oh, well, our iPhone ain't gonna sell, so screw them. We ain't gonna do anything special for them.
Yep.
And then get mad when nobody buys it. I'm sorry, but, and I mean, some of the features that the Xbox tout in the first place, I don't even see a point in. Why would I want to watch, a TV show while I'm trying to play a competitive online game with my friends?
It doesn't make any sense. You're right.
Like, what point does that do? I can't hear both of them at the same time. I can't really pay attention to both of them at the same time. Not reality. So, what's the purpose of these? You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right. And both of you guys have pretty much covered it all. Well, all three of us at this point have in regards to these sales numbers and the reason why they met this number. But I want to go back to something Clyde said right quick just a moment ago. He said he feels sorry for Microsoft. I don't, because they are definitely paying for their sins with their launch standards and what their belief system and everything they wanted us to buy into as a consumer. And now it's catching up to them, and it's time for a little humbling.
I mean, at least Sony had exclusive games. I mean, there's the exclusive Yakuza game, I believe, that was down in Japan, which I wouldn't mind playing, by the way, but I don't speak Japanese. But yeah, they have exclusive games.
Yeah.
For that caters to the Japanese audience, and Yakuza is extremely popular in Japan. I think that's the name of the game.
Yakuza, yeah, it's one of their most popular, actually. PlayStation staple, in fact. I think this is the fourth one.
I believe, if you don't count the one where
yeah, they're in hell and shit.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, you're right, dude. It had that at least one big exclusive, big to that market. Like you said, nobody, especially in the Japanese market, wants to play Titanfall or Rise, Son of Rome, or fucking, Project Spark or any of that bullshit. They don't want to play it here. The sales numbers show here, so why would it be any better over there? Microsoft, you dug your grave, man. Now it's time to lay in it. So, if you're around for the next generation, that humble pie tastes pretty damn good. On to the next topic of the week.
Someone just do me one favor.
What's that?
Someone just tell Microsoft, please do like Sony does. Learn from your previous consoles and your previous mistakes, please.
That's right. Listen.
No, don't. Because all your games come to PC. And by the way, Dead Rising 3, awesome game.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome game. Recommend it on PC.
Up next for the week, Saints Row 4 is apparently getting a re-release on, I'm going to call them next-gen systems because there still ain't shit to have on them right now. So, Saints Row 4 is apparently releasing on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And they also announced a expansion called Get Out of Hell. What are our thoughts on this?
The expansion I'm interested in, I'll get. It's like $15, I heard, or something like that. I mean, it's very cheap, so I'll pick it up. Just check it out. But this is a remastering that nobody asked for. Did anybody say, I want Saints Row 4 remastered? Hell, no one even asked for the fourth one because everybody was playing Grand Theft Auto 5 at the time.
Yep.
I mean, this is one, I look at it and say, why? Why? I mean, I understand games like The Last of Us. People actually asked for it. This game, no one asked for, no one really wants to play again, so why remaster it? It's just, they are starting to milk their franchises, and it's starting to turn into a pattern, and I'm starting to worry. And that's all I got to say. Other than, just scrap that shit and make Saints Row 5. I may actually play that one.
Well. I'm kind of with Clyde on this one because it's not like it's freaking. I'm sorry, but Saints Row is not, to me, not as good as Grand Theft Auto 5 is. I'm sorry. It's not.
Nobody will disagree with that, so.
Don't get me wrong. I actually do like Saints Row. But would I buy it again just to have it on the next-gen console, as they say? No. Not unless it's like $10 or something. I mean, what's the point? You know, nobody asked for that game. There wasn't a big outreach of people saying, oh my God, I have to have this game on the Xbox One or the PS4 because it'll just be, there's nobody that said that. I'm sorry, they just didn't. But that's like a waste of time, money, and resources, basically. That time and money that they spent to remaster this game for the Xbox One or PS4, they could have spent that time designing the next Saints Row or something, or looking at Grand Theft Auto and saying, what did they do right that we can do in the next Saints Row that might make it more of a competitor to Grand Theft Auto? Not, oh, let's just remaster this and slap a remaster tag on it and slap it on the shelves and say, hey, here you go, guys. Here's your steaming pile of almost shit.
Following Grand Theft Auto again.
I'm just saying. Now, and I mean, I'm probably not even going to buy Grand Theft Auto on PS4 because I've already played it so much on 3. I don't see a need for it. I mean, I don't. The only games I see a need to be remastered are truly amazing titles. Like, and not to say that Grand Theft Auto is not amazing, because it is, with all the details. But Saints Row is not one of those ones. You don't play Saints Row with your buddies and then like stop in the middle of what you're doing to tell your buddies, hey man, look at this. This is amazing how it has this much detail in it. Sorry, but you don't do that. On Grand Theft Auto, you do that. There have been times with Corey, Clyde, we've been playing and stopped in the middle of what we were doing and said, man, look at this. You notice when you break glass, you step on it and it actually makes a noise based off of where you're stepping?
Or like the fact when you're in the middle of a heated conflict with the cops, you shoot one to death, his partner will drag him behind the cop car.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that does not happen in Saints Row. You know, it's the details for games like that. It's definitely the little details that make you say, oh, wow, this is amazing. And that's not what Saints Row delivers. So why would you keep trying to... It's like Clyde said, all you're doing is milking it. I mean, they're just as bad as the company behind Air Bud.
Damn.
I mean, think about it. How many Air Buds are there now?
Audience, that's a dated reference for you guys. Enjoy it.
I'm just saying. There's like 50 million freaking versions of Air Bud out there. Oh my God. If you don't believe me, younger guys, younger kids, go look up Air Bud and see how many movies came out. Probably about 20, honestly.
These remastered editions are a tricky subject. People seem to forget that this didn't just recently happen. I personally collect and have bought just about every HD collection I can on PS3. I think the only ones I'm missing are the Splinter Cell and one of the Resident Evil collections. But, you know, those, for the most part, have been must-own first-party games re-released with trophy support, and they were legitimately in HD remastering because they were games on PlayStation 2 or other systems in that 6th generation of consoles that, were only standard definition, so you actually got value out of them. Games like, Jak and Daxter and Sly Cooper and, Prince of Persia, so many, Devil May Cry. There's a whole list of God of War. Thank you. That's one of the better ones. Even the Origins collection, which was the PSP games put onto one. There was a lot of value in those. A lot of people played them for the first and only time on the PS3. But in regards to the same thing, just up another generation, they do seem to be, and it's so early on, it's really difficult to say that it's here to stay, but at the same time, it seems every week they're announcing another one, so I can also understand why we, as a consumer base, are getting skeptical. But I'll make the argument, of course, like anything, there are exceptions that need to be made and that merit the purchase. I'm going to name off a few here that either I'm going to get when I eventually get a PS4 or I see value in getting now. Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. That game launched originally on PS3 and Xbox 360, PC also, March 2013. To awesome rave reviews, huge sales. That was my personal game of the year. It even beat out Last of Us just barely because I love the story of survival that Lara told. But there's something to be said about getting that game on the next gen platforms, as they're called, because people seem to forget not even a year later those systems were launched. And that game was in development for so long, and the sequel had already been, announced for PS4 and Xbox One now, that it only makes sense to release it on the systems where the future will be. It did have a graphical upgrade to it, and it had all the DLC content. With that, I kind of make a case for it. Maybe that's a little bit of biasness on my end because it was my game of the year, but I think you could at least toss its hat in the ring based on all that just to have it possibly worth a purchase on next gen. Last of Us goes without saying that it deserves a re-release on PS4, not just because it was game of the year by everyone on Earth and it's a perfect game, but just like Tomb Raider before it has all the DLC on it also. And people seem to forget that for the first 4, 5, 6, even maybe years of the Xbox 360 and PS3 launches, that most people went with the Xbox instead of PlayStation at that time. So the audience wasn't fully invested enough, or at least that Naughty Dog would have wanted. So it only makes sense when people swap to the other side and get PS4s instead of Xboxes this time around, that the install base now, 10 million plus users PS4, will get the opportunity to play a game that they didn't because they had an Xbox 360 instead of PS3. So Last of Us definitely is worth putting its hat in the ring for the PS4 relaunch. And also, I haven't played it, but you could also argue, what's it called? Metro Redux. And I'm going to say that because, Clyde, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't think the first one that was launched was on PlayStation platforms at all.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was PC and Xbox only.
Right. Thank you. So in that, you get a brand new game that wasn't available to Sony platforms for the price of, a newly released one. You get both of them. Now, that's 3 I can make a case for. Saints Row 4, yeah, you guys have pretty much said it all. While I enjoy the series, it's, slapstick comedy. It's like, Three Stooges almost. But, nobody's clamoring to get this on next-gen hardware. You're absolutely right. But as far as the DLC that they launch, they will be launching also, where you're playing as Johnny Gat and you're escaping hell. Maybe I'll check it out. They said it's standalone, in which case you don't need the fourth one to play it, which I'm still only playing the third one. I haven't played the fourth one at all yet. I'll check that out. But this game, I don't see a reason it having a home on Xbox One or PS4. So I think we're all in agreement there. Let's save the HD remasters for PS4 and Xbox One to games that actually deserve, and take advantage of it, shall we? All right. Closing out this week's episode, we have officially heard a release date. Funny we mentioned this now, seeing the topic we just were talking about. GTA 5 will be launching on November 18th for PlayStation 4, confirms Sony and IGN. Now, they didn't mention anything about Xbox One, but I can only imagine it's also going to be on the same date. But since it was revealed at E3, officially that is, GTA 5 on next gen has been touted as a PlayStation 4 experience. So while the Xbox One release date hasn't been confirmed yet, I can only imagine it's going to be that also. But regardless, November 18th, you can get the, quote, next-gen version of GTA 5. The only thing I really have to say about this that we haven't already covered in the last topic is I'm going to be so pissed. My balls are going to be fucking boiling. Because I just know that it's going to launch with fucking heist built into it. And we've been waiting a goddamn fucking year for that on PlayStation 3. And they're like, oh, it's coming. It's coming. Still not here. Mm-hmm. So I'm already getting ready to not have my genitalia spontaneously converse out of anger. So I'm going to hand this one off to you guys. What do we think?
Okay, I pre-ordered it on the PS4, but I'm a little upset that PC is getting screwed. It's confirmed January 27th for PC, which is almost, December, January, 2 months?
Yeah, 2 months after.
You know, which makes you wonder why Rockstar keeps screwing over PC, but that is a console versus PC debate, and I really don't want to get into that. This is one of the games where I actually think can be remastered and actually has an audience. And like you said, I have a feeling that the Heists is going to be a next-gen exclusive, and that's going to piss off. Okay, Rockstar, if you're thinking about doing this, listen to me. Don't do it. You're going to piss off, and I repeat, piss off a lot of PS3 and Xbox 360 users. You're going to piss them off. You promised it almost a year ago. I think it's been almost a year, a few days from now to be a year since it got released. Okay, you promised it. Okay, where is it at, Rockstar? Where is it at? And if you make it exclusive to next year, you're going to piss everybody off. And it better look so much better. And I heard it's going to be like 30 players online, which if that's the case, thumbs up. That's going to be awesome. And to you, Chevy boy.
Well, where do I freaking begin? If they're going to re-release this thing on PS4 and Xbox One, they need to damn well get rid of the glitches and everything that are still plaguing the PS3 and 360 right now.
Which we've been talking about in what seems like every episode of this podcast.
I mean, that's the main thing. I mean, why re-release it on PS4 and Xbox Xbox One when you haven't even fixed the issues with the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions yet?
I hate to play devil's advocate, but I think maybe, just maybe, because the game is such a technical marvel that I think the system is having a hard time actually running it. But I honestly believe that.
But surely they tested all this before they tested this on their consoles before they said, oh yeah, let's release this to billions and millions of people. for millions and billions of people to buy, let's test this to make sure it's going to work correctly on these consoles first. You know? I mean, I just want them to show me some signs that they're at least working on the PS3 versions, that they're working on the 360 versions, so that we don't have crazy shit happening anymore. You know? I mean, there's still consoles freezing up and everything. There's got to be something that they can do.
Mine froze up tonight, actually.
And see, my thing is also, like you said, Corey and Clyde, if they come out and on day one on the PS4 and the Xbox One, they say, hey, heist mode, I'm going to be like, are you fucking kidding me?
Day one.
Especially after you guys, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal if they hadn't been promising heist mode to us current gen console gamers for the longest. If they hadn't been promising that to us forever and a day, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But they've been promising that for almost a year now. That you're gonna have heist. You're gonna be able to have heist mode. And for a lot of people, that's what they've been holding off on, what they've been waiting on. And that's the reason why they still play, is hoping that one day they'll turn on their PlayStation and it'll pop up on PlayStation Plus and say new patch, and that patch will have the heist mode in it. I know I hope for that every time I play it. I hope, okay, heist mode will be patched in. Nah, hadn't got it yet. I still got cars disappearing out of my garage randomly. That hadn't been fixed yet. There's still too many glitches and problems that hold the game back from being a truly amazing experience for me, for them to be releasing it on PS4 and Xbox One like that. They've got to drastically improve it. And like Clyde said, I better see a gigantic, I honestly, I want to see a huge difference in graphics. You know, that's what I want to see. A lot higher clarity in the picture quality on it. I want to be able to see the freaking sweat on my character's face. You know? That's all I'm saying. The graphics have to be improved. Gameplay is going to have to be improved. And it cannot be near as glitchy as it is now. It cannot. Anytime you drive down a highway and a car randomly appears from just out of nowhere in front of you, literally just materializes right in front of you as you're running from the cops with a 5-star wanted level, kind of some bullshit. Just saying. Rockstar, I hope you're listening.
The only takeaway I have from this announcement is, like Clyde mentioned, 30 players online in one lobby. That's going to be outrageous and insane. It's already insane enough with 16. My God, 30? Oh my God. I'm shocked. I have no words for it.
As long as they can pull it off, and it's not glitchy as all hell, it will be awesome. And
it is glitchy.
And don't make it where anybody can go and steal a fucking tank and terrorize the rest of the lobby. I hate that shit. Little level 5s running around with fucking tanks that you can only buy when you're level 75.
They have made the tanks weaker, though. I've noticed that.
I have, too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's still so easy to get one. You can still run over there to the base, and if you got a couple of buddies, you can easily still steal a tank. And then go terrorize levels. Other players that don't have tanks and don't know how to get a tank. And they don't know any way of fighting. I mean, they can't fight back. It's kind of hard to fight back. Especially if a person halfway knows how to use a tank. It's pretty hard to fight back when you're on foot.
Clyde, final thoughts on GTA 5, November 18th.
I'm getting it. I'll be pissed if it's, like Chevy Boy said, a half-assed attempt, but it's Rockstar, which, never mind, considering how bad online is. Which don't get me wrong, it must be good because we're still playing it almost a year after release. But still, it is glitchy. I mean, I remember playing online, and there was I don't know what was in my garage. It was like a wall or something in my garage.
Yeah, you can check that video up on his YouTube channel, at NM Stranger on YouTube.
I mean, that's just bad. And you could be fighting people, and all of a sudden, the person you're fighting will teleport halfway from one area to another because it glitched out.
Yeah, it's insane. Rodney, final thoughts on GTA 5, PS4, November 18th.
It'll be cool. They just got a lot of work to do. It bet like Clyde and I was saying a while ago, it better not be a half-ass attempt. Because
Crossplay would be insane.
Now that would be truly amazing. That right there, if they did PS4 and Xbox One crossplay ability, where they could play against each other like that, that would make it worth it for me to buy on PS4. I think that would be a system seller for me. A next-gen seller for me. That would make me want to get a PS4 for that.
I think some more time needs to go by before I make my final thoughts on this, because, it's another port, yeah, but it is Rockstar, and Rockstar are known for quality and just about everything they do. So that alone is giving me, the leeway that they're probably looking for during this time. Give us some more launch details, and we'll see how it goes. Does Grand Theft Auto deserve a spot on the next-gen consoles like the other ones in our last topic? I think absolutely it does, potentially. Wouldn't you guys say so?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have pre-ordered it if I didn't think it was worth it. Just do not let me down, because if you do, I swear I will not pre-order another Rockstar game. I will wait for reviews. I pre-ordered the last one, and I pre-ordered this one. I already pre-ordered this one.
Strong statement coming from a real fan of the company, so take it to heart, Rockstar. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been another episode of the Last Minute Podcast by yours truly, Heavy Metal Zombie, NM Stranger, and Chevy Boy Swag here on YouTube. We thank you so much for tuning into our show. If you have questions, comments, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you got questions, just ask. We're pretty friendly, and we will get back to you. Does anyone have any final thoughts they want to leave us on this week?
Yeah, everybody's Facebook page, YouTube, everybody's profile links will be in the description if you want to check out their channels, if you want to catch us on Facebook. Just talk to us. We're very approachable, and we'll message you back.
Rodney?
Same thing you were saying on that, man. Hey. You got questions about stuff? You want to hear our opinion on it? Hey, message us, talk to us, holler at us. We'll get back to you. We're not all the way assholes, well, I'm not gonna lie, I am an asshole, but hey, I'm a nice asshole if that counts for anything.
Keyword there is not 100%, so.
Just saying.
Hell, even join us. Hell, you could even join us on our podcast if you want to join us.
Yeah, we would enjoy having a guest here and there. If you're interested, tell one of us either on our Facebook, Twitter, YouTube channel, or in the comments of this video down below, preferably. That way it's easier to catch them. We are open to letting just about anybody on, so we're not biased. Thank you so much again. Make sure you check in with our next episode, where it will be a special edition episode where we break down the pros and cons of both Apple and Android products in commemoration of Apple's official announcement of the iPhone 6 or whatever they're calling nowadays. These kids and their smartphones and their doodads and whatnots.
And don't get the Note 4.
Oh, and the Note 4. Sorry. Our very own Tech Tower, Rodney, Chevy Boy Swag, will give us the rundown on that video and our own very unique outlook on the entire lifestyle, as I like to consider it. Look for that in the next few days. In the meantime, I'd like to leave you guys, as always, with a closing takeaway topic. We want to hear from you, the community. Since it's been such a hot topic in this episode, what is your opinion on the whole remastering craze going around right now for next-gen systems? What are some of the better ones in the past? What are some that you've had a good experience with this generation? Which ones have you bought? Which ones have been some of the worst ones? And which ones will you buy in anticipation of their new release? Thank you, guys. As always, tune in. See you again next time.